John Watson took to the Dawson Creek City Council delegation table on Monday morning with a problem. Due to an issue with the furnace, his water pipes burst, causing the water at his rental property to run unceasingly.
3,600 cubes of water went through my house and through my sewer. The total cost that the folks here want to fine me is $9,814, and I don't agree with that.
Although Mr. Watson had been checking on his unoccupied property on a weekly basis, he was unaware of the problem as there were no visible damages and no flooding had occurred.
The home is just a one-level house with a small basement, like I said, for the furnace and hot water tank, and I never went down there, so I didn't know the water was running.
But that all changed when he was contacted about the heavy water consumption nearly 2 months after it began.
They actually phoned me and I left a message that there was some heavy consumption going on. So I went to the residence right after work and turned off my water main.
About 60 cubes of water per day were spilling out of Mr. Watson's property, but with it freely running into the sewer, no flooding occurred. Regardless, council stood firm on their policy, stating that the responsibility falls on the homeowner.
You are supposed to check on it on a regular basis, and so I can't see any intervention by council.
There are certain regulations that you have to follow in having a rental property, and one of them is proper inspection. If that water ran for 2 months, this gentleman was not properly inspecting that rental property.
Although it may seem harsh, council's decision came down to one simple fact. If the costs aren't paid for by the users themselves, then those costs get divided amongst everyone else.
If council makes a determination to give relief to Mr. Watson, what you're doing is passing that cost from Mr. Watson on to all the other users?
If a tenant didn't pay their hydro bill or didn't pay their gas bill for a period of a year, the landlord wouldn't come to the city and say, could you help me out with that one? But for some reason there seems to be a thought that because we provide the water, that we can waive the payment of that.
When voting on the matter, council was unanimous in their decision to leave the charges as they were. It certainly wasn't the result Mr. Watson had hoped for, but it was a helpful reminder to property owners of what can happen if proper inspections aren't completed. Jeremy Keefe, CJDC-TV News, Dawson Creek.